Hello, Talk Funders, and here we are again from Gary from Calm Storm Games. Gary, this game is nothing but calm, right? It's not calm at all. It's a lot of nonsense. I mean, I love it. In the main interview, we finished off on the high when we were reading out, and it's all about cuteness meets chaos, right?
Yeah.
So in this deep dive, it's a card game. I really want to hand it over to you, and let's look at these cards and let you explain a bit more about this game called Bunny Brawl. So really, over to you, Gary, my friend.
Okay. Well, sneak peek. This is the prototype that we have. So this is near enough what the final design is going to look like. There's probably going to be a couple of changes prior to production, but the inside, we've got the lid that looks all fancy schmancy. But I guess the main thing that catches everyone's eye is the artwork on the cards. So as I mentioned in the main interview, this was one of the first cards that I had created. So this is Ragnar Lockbrook. Every single one of these bunnies has a punny name attached to them. And if you're familiar with the TV series Vikings, this bunny will make a whole lot of sense to you. But obviously every card is double-sided, so there is a healthy side for a bunny. And on the opposite, we have a damaged version, just to make it abundantly clear who's healthy and who's not. The special cards like Ragnar, they have special abilities when they are played from your hand. So Ragnar, for example, is a warrior. When you're playing from your hand, he can damage an opponent's bunny that is in their warren. The different classes have, whoops, I just dropped that, have different abilities. So this one is one of the special ninja bunnies. We've got Hutch Norris, who, when it's played from your hands, you get to steal a card from your opponent's hands. Now, obviously, because every card is double-sided and you can see your opponent's cards and they can see yours, you know exactly which card you want to steal. Obviously, there are 4 classes. So and let's see if I can get an archer. So we've got Kitness Evergreen, who is one of the special archer bunnies. Who, when played from your hand, allows you to flip an unoccupied bunny hole. So it's a delay tactic with the archers, I guess, because you need all 4 holes in order to win, but the archers stop you from doing that. And of course, there is a damaged version on the other side as well. One of the cards that we mentioned earlier, Susan, who is in fact not a bunny, she is a chinchilla, is probably one of the most unique in the game, in that she counts as a bunny from any class. You can play her into any hole that you like, be it an archer, mage, warrior, or ninja, and obviously there's the damage side as well. So one of the things that I mentioned about the black box having an achievements list in there, one of the platinum achievements that I was considering putting on there is to win a game with an army of Susans. It is nigh on impossible, not quite impossible, but very damn near close. So some of the cards I can show you. So these are the holes, obviously. So that one's a ninja hole. Each one has got a little symbol in the corner to signify that it is a bunny hole. You've got the little ears poking out of the hole. And each one is sort of aesthetically themed to the class that they belong to. So the archer, for example, has got, targets and arrows and stuff pointing out of it. But the main, obviously, unique selling point is the target cards, the Flip Force. So this is, and if any of you are familiar with a particular 70s TV show, 70s or 80s, I don't know, you may notice the guy on the right-hand side. I don't know if it's on the right or the left. Let's just say the flavor text is, I pity the fool who just got flipped. So it might make a bit more sense if I say that as to who these were based around. And then, so this card forces your opponent to basically play the side of the card that they didn't want to play. So if, for example, I was playing Kitness Evergreen, I was playing her into a yellow hole, someone then plays Flip Force, I immediately have to play the damaged side of her. So it stops me from doing what I wanted to do. Now, you can flip a Flip Force, which then becomes the B team. So obviously not the best team in the world, but they'll do. So if you get your Flip Force flipped, it means you can't play another Flip Force this turn. However, you hold on to this, and if you get 3 of these, you create a super flip, which is essentially a flip that cannot be stopped. So, you know, if you're in a real pickle, having 3 of these actually quite useful. It's won me a game before, actually. And that's saying something, because historically, I'm terrible at this game. I'm really bad. I designed the thing and I keep losing. I think I've only ever won 3 times.
What you mentioned about Sean and his classic testimony, your brother Sean in the main interview. Does Sean beat you then as well in the game, does he?
Yeah, I've literally, of the hundreds of times we must have play tested this now, even against my own children, I've probably won less than a handful of times. Genuinely, I'm just bad at it. And you would think, you know, with creating the whole balancing of the cards and the strategy and stuff, I've got it down pat. No, it's just,
and that's lovely to say in terms of the deep dive and just keep focused on the game. It's intergenerational. I mean, the kids must just love the visual aspect of seeing those characters, you know, and oh dear, the bunny's having a bad day, so he's sad bunny sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the I guess I'll talk about this a little later on when it comes to the sort of backstory and how it all came about. But a lot of the cards that the kids found entertaining more than ever were the ones that were a lot closer to home, that had a theme that they recognised. For example, we've got, you know, Mary Hoppins as one of the mage bunnies. We've got Harry Hopper as well, as another one of the mage bunnies. So they're all, you know, thematically, it's quite a strong game, I think. And just having those little nudges to popular culture, I think that the kids will understand. They're like, I want that card, or, you know, they'll be fighting over one card in particular, even though it doesn't actually win them the game. But it's still fun to play. So yeah, it's certainly accessible for everyone, and it's a good time. Whatever age you are, it's enjoyable for whoever's playing it, I think. Unless you're Rachel, of course.
Okay. and then there's the Brawl Card. Is there Brawl cards there as well? I think that's a key card that's played as well.
Yeah. So this is obviously the namesake of the game itself. So the Brawl Card is unique in the fact that it is the only card that is not different on both sides. It's the same on both sides. Essentially, the way that I wanted to create this was that once one of these came out, it was just chaos. It was absolute chaos. So what happens when one of these is played is each player, and I need to find these now because I've dropped them somewhere when I was shuffling through that deck. Each player needs to, there we go, I've got them, needs to pick a rocket salad. Now, I've named them rocket salads because, well, there's a bunny on there, they're on a rocket and they're trying to eat salad, which, you know, that makes sense. So there are 4 rocket salads. At the moment, it is one of the stretch goals to up this to 6. And essentially, you have to give these to your opponents at random. They have to pick one of these completely at random. And if they pick the bad rocket salads, essentially one of their bunnies either gets destroyed or you get to steal it for yourself as the brawler. And if you pick lucky, then you're fine. Nothing bad happens to you. But the odds are in your favour, essentially, when you're playing a brawl. Nothing bad can happen to you when you're playing a brawl card, which just makes you want to play them more because it just creates more chaos and everyone else suffers except for you. So, yeah, that's how the brawl card works.
And really, is there, I mean, just maybe to finish off, if you've nothing else to cover regarding the actual cards themselves, just to finish off in terms of deep dive, 2 things I want to talk about. One is, you know, the quality of the card. I mean, it's a quality game, so you've obviously probably going to spend money on getting really good, solid cards, which are going to, you know, a 10-year-old is going to throw them around. Yeah, I'm sure they're really good quality cards. Yeah.
So one of the stretch goals, in fact, is an upgrade for a lidding finish on the cards. I mean, the card stock is going to be it has to be with kids playing the game of a decent quality anyway, but certainly we're looking at upgrading the quality further to make them a little more durable with the audience potentially being kids as well. So yeah, quality over quantity.
And then just to bring that in terms of pledges. Going from the main interview, one of the key pledges was our tiers, was the tier 3, which from just memory, it just give you all the really good essentials plus a very few good of the add-ons, which you also have a really, I would encourage people to look at the Kickstarter page or look at the main interview where Guy talks about the different add-ons that are. And I think that tier 3 is coming in at £39 sterling and approximately $49 American. Is that right?
It's 35 pounds sterling for the tier 3. Yeah, and like you say, it gives you pretty much everything you need. So you've got the game itself, you've got the Not Safe for Work expansion for when the kids aren't around, and the Kickstarter exclusive cards. And how many we have of those is yet to be seen. So yeah, fingers crossed there's a few more on the way.
Well, thank you very much, Gary from Calm Storm Games. And I'm really looking for doing this deep dive, and I'm laughing because I really want to hear the story of where this Calm Storm Games and Bunny Brawl, which is your first game. And I mean, I think that's given a nod to really where you want to take your company in terms of other projects. Maybe we can talk about that in the backstory. So I'm really looking forward to the backstory. But listen, thank you so much for doing the deep dive and showing off your beautiful cards. Thank you so much, my friend. Cheers now. Bye now.
Bye.